Yeah, I think labels, like small labels like ours, really serve as curators. There's so many great little labels out there that are consistent. And generally, if you like one of the releases, you may not love them all, but at least you sort of know what you're getting into. And then you can start sort of rabbit holing it from there, following an individual artist's path through other labels or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's some way that both Joe and I, something that we use to make sense and to try to organize the craziness that's entailed with running labels and doing everything else we do.
I feel more and more, the more I, run a label, I recognize how difficult and special it is to maintain that kind of consistency, like the way Taylor's done, or the way, something like ECM or some of these other labels. It feels like all the forces are conspiring to not allow that to continue.
Yeah.
I don't even mean it in some conspiratorial way, but it's like, I get so many demos of music that I'm like, man, this is great. It has nothing to do with what I'm putting out, but it's kind of amazing. And I'm often tempted to just be like, maybe I broaden the scope of this to become something really wide ranging, but I've tried to resist that. And I don't know, it's a question that I struggle with sometimes, because it's like, the music I'm putting out on greyfade, it's a very small sliver of actually the music that I'm interested in as listeners. Like, I'm sure if you came and hung out with me or Taylor, you'd see that all the music we listen to doesn't sound like what's on our labels. I mean, I'm listening to all kinds of stuff that sounds nothing like what I'm putting out, but I feel that it's sort of important to have that consistency in a sense. And, again, I do struggle with it, but I think that, like you're saying, it's helpful to kind of have a point of reference and not constantly have the floor shifting beneath them where they're like, what is this thing? They understand what they're getting, and they're not getting a hip hop release now or something,
Some advice to your young label from my old label is something that I've done a number of times, is to every now and then throw a curveball out there. The first curveball I remember throwing was the CD by Christopher Willits called Folding in the T. And Chris is known as an ambient artist who uses guitar as his main instrument. You never heard the strum of a guitar on a 12K record since its inception. And we very specifically started his album with the strum of a guitar.